For decades, the Washington, D.C. public schools, the public school district in our nation's capital, have been one of the lowest performing school districts in the country. Just over half of our students graduated from high school. Our enrollment had dropped from 120,000 students in 1960 to barely 45,000 by the mid-2000s. And 88% of our students, a vast majority of our 14-year-olds, were not proficient at reading, according to our national assessment. This was clearly a system in crisis and a system that demanded dramatic changes. And those changes began in 2007 when the mayor appointed Michelle Rhee to become Chancellor of DC Public Schools. And she embarked upon an ambitious program of reforms. And over the past 9 years since then, under the leadership of Chancellor Rhee and her successor, Chancellor Kai Henderson, DC Public Schools has made more progress than any other school district in America. We've made, over that period of time, more progress at both our 4th graders and our 8th graders for both reading and math than any other state or any other urban district in the country. And the centerpiece of that reform has been a focus on the quality of our teachers. We know that the research repeatedly shows that teacher quality is the most important school-based factor that leads to student achievement. So when we started this work in 2007, only 12% of our 14-year-olds were proficient at reading. They were where they were supposed to be on our national assessment. And yet 95% of our teachers were being rated under our current evaluation system as being effective or highly effective. There's clearly a disconnect between those two numbers. So that first step was focused on raising the bar for performance and coming up with an effective, efficient, transparent, fair way of moving out our very lowest performing teachers. Two things were components of that effort. So the first was our teachers' contract. In the past, according to our contract with our teachers' unions, principals had no control over who is teaching in their buildings, and teachers also didn't get much choice over where to teach. This was a problem for a variety of reasons. We believed that our teachers should have more autonomy over where they taught. We also believed that we couldn't ask a principal to improve a school if they had no control over the teachers in their building, no ability to retain their best teachers or to move out their low performers. So this was the focus of our negotiations for our last teacher's contract, which we agreed to in 2010. It's a provision that we call mutual consent, which simply means that no teacher is forcibly placed in a school and no principal is forced to accept a teacher that they're not interested in accepting. The second piece to this initial stage of focus on raising the bar for our teachers was our new evaluation system. We rolled that out in 2009. The system is called Impact. It's a system that includes multiple different components to assess teachers' quality. There's a piece around student achievement. We use whatever examinations or tests are available to assess that teacher's performance. Teachers also are observed by multiple evaluators. Some of those evaluators are school leaders, a principal or assistant principal within the school. Some are third parties. We wanted to make sure the evaluation was objective. And so there are third-party experts called master educators who are content specific, who are specialists in science or in elementary education, who come into the school a couple of times a year to observe teachers and give them scores. There are a couple of other components to reflect the good work that teachers do around collaborating with their colleagues, working with families, supporting the broader school initiatives. All of those different components go into a single evaluation score from a scale from 100 to 400. And at the end of each year, teachers, based on their score, are placed into one of 5 rating categories. At the top, teachers are highly effective. Those teachers are eligible for performance pay, for bonuses. They're the ones we focus on for leadership opportunities and make sure we retain. Effective teachers, that's a bulk of our teachers, of course. They're doing a fine job. But there are several categories below effective. So teachers who score in the bottom category, who are rated as ineffective, are subject to being terminated after that school year. That was dramatically faster than any previous system had involved exiting a teacher, but it was also very important. This is not a majority of our teachers. Our goal wasn't to fire a majority of teachers. In the first year of our evaluation system, only 2% of teachers fell into that bottom category. Over the past 6 years, around 500 teachers have fallen into one of the lower categories and so have been moved out. However, what we see is that teachers who receive a low score and are given a chance to improve. So if you're in the second lowest category, minimally effective, you have 1 more year to improve. Those teachers either leave on their own or they improve. The teachers who stay in the district improve dramatically more than you would expect. Teacher turnover is often described as a problem. but that's not a sophisticated enough look at the problem. In fact, being able to turn over your lowest performing teachers is a thing school districts need to get better at. And as we found in DCPS, when we were able to move out our lowest performing teachers through our impact evaluation system, students learned dramatically more in the next year, 4 months more than they had in the previous year. At the same time, however, turnover among high performers is a problem. And once we have been able to establish a strong evaluation system that enabled us to reliably identify who our top performers are, a next phase of our work around teacher quality focused on figuring out how we could do a better job of retaining those teachers. DCPS, like many urban districts across the United States, had struggled for many years with retaining top teachers. We often found that many of our best teachers left the district, they often left early in their careers, and they often left to teach elsewhere. So these were not people who wanted to leave the teaching profession, they were just leaving the challenges of a low-performing urban district. So we tackled this problem in a couple of different ways. The first was through restructuring our pay system and focusing on performance pay. So in 2010, as part of our negotiations with our teachers union, we were able to introduce a contract that included performance pay, a performance pay program called Impact Plus. This changed our pay scale in two ways. First was that it provided the option for annual bonuses of up to $25,000 for our best teachers. So a teacher who's highly effective is eligible for an annual bonus. It's a larger bonus if you teach in a high poverty school, if you teach a high need subject, and so on. And those bonuses are available every year. The second, perhaps even more significant change we made enabled our best teachers who were highly effective on a repeated basis, year after year, to dramatically accelerate their base pay. We wanted to make sure that our best teachers could earn a competitive salary, a six-figure salary, within their first 6 to 7 years of teaching at DCPS in our high poverty schools. And that has made a huge difference for our teachers. When we speak with teachers these days, we hear that they've decided to stay in DC and teach in DCPS because the pay enables them to buy a house, provide for their family, do the things that talented professionals should be able to do. Of course, teachers don't stay in the classroom or in a district just because of the pay. If you ask almost any teacher what they enjoy about their job and why they stay, pay will not be one of the things they mention. What we've done with pay is we've been able to take it off the list of reasons people leave. But it's not sufficient in and of itself to keep people in the district. And so we've also focused a great deal on making sure that we're providing teachers with the opportunities to grow, to take on new challenges, to develop themselves. A key aspect of our strategy along that front was rolling out a career ladder in 2012. It's called the LIFT Career Ladder. LIFT stands for Leadership Initiative for Teachers. It's a 5-stage career ladder. You start off as a teacher and move up through the stages through established, advanced, distinguished, and finally expert teacher. You move up the stages based on your annual impact rating, so based on the rating you're receiving on the evaluation system. And as you move up the ladder, you're eligible for more performance pay, so you have a chance to accelerate your salary. You're eligible for more autonomy around how you're evaluated. You don't need to be evaluated as many times if you've established yourself. And most importantly, you become eligible for more leadership opportunities. And so what we did as part of the LIFT Career Ladder program was to literally create what we thought of as a course catalog of leadership opportunities. This was an initiative that has made them feel valued by the district, that has given them exposure to opportunities they didn't have otherwise, and that has helped them want to stay in DCPS. It's also been a very cost-effective opportunity. We didn't create a lot of new leadership opportunities, we just did a better job of taxonomizing them and sharing information with our teachers. We send out a bi-weekly newsletter to our teachers called our Opportunities Newsletter that highlights different opportunities that are available at the moment and upcoming application dates, and highlights teachers who have won awards or taken advantage of leadership opportunities. And this email literally is more popular, has a higher rate of being opened than anything else we send out.